Freak Network, we're back, baby. We are back, and we're back with another rundown.
Yes,
These
we
weeks
are.
just fly by, don't they?
Mad.
I don't even want to sound like so cliche, but my goodness. Like,
Yeah,
where
but we've
did it
had
go?
so much. Like, market's been so crazy this week, so it just goes so quick, doesn't it?
It's a whirlwind.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
whirlwind. Time flies when you're having fun, baby. All right, where do we even start with this week? Like, it's for me, and as we discussed, right? It's been more so the moves that we've seen in the markets, right? The underlying themes of things, less so news updates and data. But look, let's start on the data front before we get onto some of these sexy moves. What have we had?
Well, we've had 4 data points out of the UK that have, every single one has been solid, pretty much. Like, what was it? Jobs, retail sales, CPI, and now PMIs this morning. Broadly positive, you would say, this morning. But GBP's still been slammed.
I know, it's been raped. It's been raped, to be graphic about things.
Might as well. But not as much as a lot of other currencies, which we'll get onto, I guess, won't we?
And I mean, we've spoken about this, right? In terms of, obviously, the pound. Like, it's shown good signs of an economic rebound, right?
Yeah.
Since post-election, right? Since Boris Johnson come into play. One thing I really need to say, guys, and Joe, we've spoken about this. We need to stop saying right. Okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
now,
Did I just say it then?
No, I said it about 3 times
Okay.
in the space of like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's our tick word. So you might not start picking up. You might start picking up on it now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we need to get a right jar where we put like a fiver in the jar for every right.
Every slap in the face for saying it.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay. So data's been great from the UK. Not great, but good. Been good. But we're weighing upon, and you did a blog on it this week, didn't you?
Yeah.
I believe.
And a video and stuff, yeah.
And it's just, at the end of the day, guys, things remain sour between UK and EU. We've even seen some commentary this week. It's not looking great. And the talks are, I think the 3rd or the 4th of March.
Yeah,
just
2 weeks pretty much.
Just about 2 weeks coming up. And, maybe that could be a nail in a coffin for the pound if things don't go well there. Because time's ticking, dude.
Potentially.
Time's ticking.
I agree. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. If the economic fundamentals of the UK stay good, though, that could be a good buying opportunity, right? Because I said right. But anyway, you know how the UK and the EU just love to leave things till the last minute. So maybe what we'd see is all this fear build up, and then right at the end of the year, there's an agreement, and then the pound just goes back up again, like what we saw last year as well.
It's true.
So I think history is going to repeat itself here.
I do agree with you. And the thing is as well, just going back to what you said about EU love to leave things last minute. The thing about Britain, and we said this as well, and it's something that I've said time and time again, but they're going to make an example out of Britain. They don't want any other nation to think, you know what, I could just leave the EU and just get a negotiated deal. So they're making our lives tough. So they're holding a tough stance, right? But it doesn't help that we are run by morons like Boris Johnson thinking he's Donald Trump. Okay, so not making things easier at all. So we've got 2 people trying to fight fire with fire. The wrong imbeciles. Oh, sorry guys, I just dropped my camera. It's all good. We're back in play. I think this the anger. That was the anger. That was really
the whole room shook.
Literally, the whole room shook. It irritates me. Politicians annoy me so much, and I said it to Dan before. It's something that I will when I'm looking to step back from financial markets. I'm going into the politics.
Yes,
and I'm going to take down these mother. So anyway, where was I going at that point? So yeah, basically they're trying to fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're going to get, it's going to be anytime soon. They don't want Britain to just, think they can just get a deal with a snap of their fingers, basically.
Agreed.
What else have we had this week?
Dollar strength.
Woo!
Wow.
Big moves.
Yeah.
Smashed 2019 highs.
Yeah. Dixie nearly got to 100.
I know.
We're just off at the moment, aren't we?
Keep talking. I'm just taking off my jumper.
Yeah, we literally got to about 99.90.
Close to that
we got
big
close.
100 mark, baby. We just fell short. No.
We'll do it, I think, in the coming weeks.
We will.
I can't see why not.
I believe so. The data's just been so strong. What data we had? We've had a couple of regional manufacturings this week. Continues to be solid.
Yeah.
Remember, we had a surprise as well with the PPIs, another inflationary measure creeping up. There's been some good data points for the dollar, and as we've said, without sounding like a broke record, we've mentioned all these factors, right? Higher interest rates, strong economy, so on
Safe
and so
haven
forth.
bid as well because it's less exposed to the whole coronavirus worries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing that's interested me, if you look the last 3 days, right? Look at Euro. It has held its ground. It's like it's ready to be smashed, hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's just held at that 108,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Everybody was calling it lower, but as soon as everybody started calling it lower, that's when it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird, wasn't it? But then as soon as the decline in Euro stopped, that was when JPY started getting smashed because it's literally Euro getting smashed. That stopped. Now JPY getting smashed. I guess that coincides with all that bad Japanese data that we had at the beginning of the week as well, to be fair.
Exactly, and it was such a delayed response from the markets. Like, at the end of the day, I remember, so on that Sunday, I think, on that Monday, Japanese yen didn't do anything. It didn't do anything even on Tuesday, really. It was only Wednesday it really started to weaken. I'm thinking, guys, this economy just produced at a contraction of minus 1.6%. And you want to still potentially back yen. Dump that mother beep.
I know. And then
it.
the next day, there was core machinery orders. Literally one of the most important things that Japan says is machinery. And they contracted by nearly 15% in 1 month.
Wow.
At the end of 2019. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
And what we've got to remember, Japan's closely linked with China as well, dude.
Exactly.
Closely linked. So, look, at the end of the day, some are saying that Japan already in a recession, but for it to be classed as a technical recession, we need to see one more reading of a contraction. So it's 2 consecutive readings, which is a technical recession. Okay?
Which is bound to happen, surely.
Surely.
I mean, all that date was bad before the impact of coronavirus. So what's it going to look like for the next quarter?
Exactly.
Surely it's got to be even worse. Like,
it's going to be worrying times.
Yeah, exactly.
Worrying times. And that's just going back to my video. At the end of the day, Japan are goes United States of America, China, and then Japan. Japan are the 3rd largest economy in the world. So that is significant, guys. This could ripple across the global markets, okay? No matter, all right, yeah, US is stable at the moment, but guys, this will affect US as well, okay? Yeah, it's all hunky-dory and everything's all fine there for now. But if this does ripple across markets, everyone's in the McBeep, okay?
Yeah,
Everyone's in trouble.
And just to add to that, there's not much that the Japanese can do to fight a recession either, because first of all, the BOJ has got no monetary policy ammunition left. Their rates have already been... They've got nothing. They've been doing QE for like 30 years.
Literally,
they've been doing QE for 1,000 years.
They've kitchen sinked it.
Yeah, exactly. Already 20 years ago. And the Japanese government has like the highest debt out of any developed economy in the world, pretty much. I think their debt to GDP ratio is like...
Oh, so ridiculous,
it's like over 200%, which is
mad.
double everybody else, pretty much.
That's insane, dude. That's
so
insane.
they're vulnerable.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely. Now, with that being said, with vulnerabilities in Japan, and they are a huge safe haven, JPY, they're losing that status. So now it's time for the precious metal gold to outshine. Man!
Brilliant caveat into that, then.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm actually proud of myself.
That was really
one.
good.
So, mate, dude, these moves.
Yeah.
It's gained like
Man.
$50.
I know. Just today, it's up like, what is it up? Like 2% now on the
Something
day.
silly
Nearly.
like that. Yeah. As I said, we pushed out this email saying gold literally into orbit, shoots into orbit.
Yeah.
It's orbit. That is orbit.
It is.
You know, this is something that I've been calling on Instagram for miles. If you go through my feed, go back, keep looking. I've been on top of gold since it was at 1,200. I said it down there that we're going to $1,600. And I said when we're approaching 1,600, we're going to 1,800.
You're crazy, kid.
I know, literally.
I know.
So no, it's been some impressive moves, and it looks like we could only see more. Why do you think, in your view, we could continue to move higher?
Oh, there's so many reasons for gold. It's almost like dollar. There's so many reasons why it should go higher. Obviously, coronavirus, that's a big reason. Towards the latter end of the week, we've seen the rate of spread in China kind of stabilise, but now it's kicking off in South Korea. There's loads of new cases, and I'm also hearing of new cases in other places like Italy and Iran. And the worry is with developing countries getting it is that their healthcare systems might not be able to cope with it.
Haha, very good point, Joel.
So Iran, when it's in Iran, you think, oh, can they actually cope with it?
That's
it
concerning.
could get out of control in somewhere like Iran.
That's concerning, dude.
Yeah.
And then spread across the Middle East.
Yeah.
Where it's just all the healthcare is not great, is it really?
Exactly.
You know, for the greatest respects, it isn't.
Yeah.
Wow, strikers.
But just sticking to what's supporting gold, though, central bank easing as well. There's all this pricing for easing this year from central banks. Fed, RBA, ECB pricing's been coming up a little bit recently with all that bad data.
Mm-hmm.
So, and gold loves central bank easing.
And PBOC been pumping money, haven't they, this week?
Yeah,
they lowered
PBOC,
they
exactly.
lowered their lending rate as well.
Yeah.
So that's all great. It's all
Yeah.
great. Gold's loving it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gold is loving it.
Yeah.
One thing also I wanted to mention this week was, while on the topic of central banks, as you just mentioned there, is RBA. Okay, so RBA, for those that don't know, the labour market is their number one barometer. Like normally, typically for central banks, their number one is inflation, but for the RBA, it's unemployment. Unemployment rate creeped back up. What is it? 5.3%.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. So now markets are greatly expecting a rate cut or some action from the RBA.
Yes.
AUD hammered. One of the real underperformers this week as well, outside of yen. Absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
Are
Nothing's
we gonna
going
get that
their
rate
way.
cut?
What's that?
Do you reckon we'll get that rate cut?
Yeah.
When?
I think it'll be in April.
April.
Because that's more just because of the way the calendar falls this year. So they've got a meeting in March, but the day after is GDP data for Australia. And historically, so they could do something different this time, but historically, if they've got a meeting just before GDP data, they don't cut at that meeting. They'd rather wait and see the GDP
See the
data
effects,
and
yeah.
then cut in the meeting after. If you know what I mean. So
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, and I mean, for me, you know, there's some more room. Just looking at the chart now. Wow, we're at 6600. I'm looking at 65 anyway. That's the next major area of safety. And Joe, just let me put something into perspective for you. Where we're falling now, we haven't seen these levels since 2009, since the crisis.
Damn.
These are huge moves right now in Aussie, getting absolutely pummeled. And, you know, if Aussie, it's been unfortunate for Aussie because it's been getting hit since the start of the year, since this coronavirus stuff. You know, we've been on top of all of this anyway. So some more downside to come.
Agreed. Same with NZD.
Same as its cousins there in New
exact
Zealand.
same themes,
on
isn't
the
it?
back end of that. What else have we got going on? What's happening next week?
blimey.
Next week, fill us in.
It's a lot more tame than this week.
Oh god,
In terms of like scheduled
Thank
events,
goodness.
anyway. Yeah.
I need a breather, dude.
Well, the thing is, I think these big moves are going to continue next week.
Yeah, they are. Aren't
But in terms of like scheduled events, there isn't really anything like massively important. So
I think, I really need to chill. Like,
yeah, same.
This week has been intense. Really, when you think about it, it's been mad.
It's been so good.
It's been good though. Plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, fortunately, isn't too crazy next week, but in terms of data, but I'm sure, as you say, we'll continue to enjoy these moves.
Yeah.
Look, guys, that's it from us again. In the not so distant future, Joel and I have been discussing anyway. We're going to look to be getting some guests on here as well, some podcasts, get some industry experts, both on the analysis side of things and actual traders as well, to have discussions and get some further insight for you guys outside of our knowledge. Guys, you're going to be blown away. So we're rounding up a list of guests at the moment. And yeah, to be honest, that's it. Everything that you hear in this podcast, baby, we talk about this stuff, don't we, Joe? We live and breathe this mother beep every single day. It's in our blood, it's in our veins. So, guys, check out freaknetwork.io. We does this. Let's get it.